So what to eat pre-workout. Now, what you should be eating is going to be dependent on a couple of factors. Number one, your goals, and number two, how long you can leave it before you are going to train. So let's look into your goals first and foremost. Now, if your goal is purely just fat loss and just general fitness, it doesn't really matter in terms of the specifics of what you eat in terms of being bang on with certain nutrients. There are just a couple of things that I would consider in this instance. Number one, make sure that you're picking foods that you can easily digest, because we all have those foods which we like, which just sit a little bit heavier on us, that can take a while to digest and you feel a little bit sluggish. So for quite a lot of people, that's bread-based products, things like that. So make sure you can digest it really, really well and you feel really, really good afterwards. Secondly is that I would opt for a carbohydrate-based food, because carbohydrates are our main source of energy, and ultimately if you are just wanting to train to be fitter or to lose fat, you want to be able to give the most to your session in order to get the most out of it. So you want to be having the best energy source possible, which is carbohydrates. In terms of how much to have, that's going to be dependent on when you can get that food in. So if you're going to be having that meal, you know, a good few hours before and you have time for a full-blown meal, that will be something along the lines of potentially something like chicken and rice, a bowl of porridge, something like that you can eat, let it digest, and then go and train. But make sure there's carbohydrates in that meal. That's what I would say on that instance. If it's a couple of hours, well, maybe an hour or so before, half an hour before, and you're having it more as a light snack, something like a bit piece of fruit will be really, really good. It's just a quick bout of energy. Or potentially like a cereal bar, something like that, where it's just quick, easy digesting carbohydrates. In terms of if you have goals of muscle protection, lean muscle building, strength related goals, your pre-workout nutrition is going to be a little bit more specific if you want to maximize that. So as well as carbohydrates, because you still want to include those within your meal, there are a couple of other considerations to have. So the main one being protein. You want to ensure that you have protein pre-workout. Now the reason being is that when you go into a training session and you lift weights, you are actually breaking down your muscle. So in order to protect it, you want to have a good source of protein and good amount of protein pre-workout. So that's going to be 20 to 30 grams of protein from the protein source itself. In terms of carbohydrates, again, you want something really, really that you can digest very, very well. If it's going to be a couple of hours beforehand, maybe a slower digesting carb, or simply to include a little bit of dietary fat in that just to slow down that digestion. Because what you don't want to do is have a really, really quick and easy digesting carbohydrate source like a sugary cereal or a cereal bar, eat it, and then within an hour you're already hungry and already feeling a little bit tired because you've utilised that really, really fast because it digests and processes so fast. So for example, you could have a scoop of whey protein with some oats and a bit of fruit as well for extra carbs, because oats have a little bit of fat in them. That's going to be slower digesting. If you were to have, let's say, like a white rice or like a sugary cereal, so a quicker digesting carbohydrate, then including a little bit of dietary fat, like say you could have like avocado with the rice, you could have dark chocolate with the cereal, just to slow down that digestion. So think carbohydrates. If you're going to have a slower digesting source, that's all good. If you're going to have a faster digesting source, maybe have a little bit of dietary fat, not a lot, just 5 to 10 grams worth, and then 20 to 30 grams of protein. Now if you are having your pre-workout snack within half an hour because you only have like a time for a quick snack, in this instance prioritize carbohydrates because you want for the energy to go in. In this instance, I will then make sure you have your post-workout protein within sort of 1 to 2 hours, just so then you are protecting your muscle tissue afterwards. That is when having protein quite quickly after a workout is more important if you've not really had any pre-workout. So in terms of pre-workout meal ideas, I'll leave some in the description for you just to give you a bit of an idea as to what you could have, and I hope that has been useful for you.